It's late morning, Gilchrist County. I'm the Philosopher Pirate, and this is Florida at Large. Firstly, I want to apologize. I was really groggy. I actually worked 18 hours yesterday on various, my own stuff, a project for a client, and I was very frustrated with equipment and so forth. Everything was taking so much longer than I really wanted to. I don't have super high-speed servers at my disposal. I've built many of my own servers. Basically, and I can do an instructional video on that, building a server from scratch, loading Apache and everything. I get do something like that. Sure I will. Different languages, C++. If I want to date myself, I could say like Pascal or something, one of those really old languages. Anyways, that's all tech stuff. And I'll save that for a different thing. I want to thank the $5 coffee cup anonymous donation. Now, thank you so much. It really is helping. It actually pays for my fuel every day if I want to. I also received a $15 donation since my last rambling video, and thank you very much. Comment from an individual, and I'll get to that in a little bit here. But those asking about the towel, honestly, I was trying to shoot a video. I had to cancel the video. I usually park on the ends of aisles in parking. I'm currently in the parking lot of a beautiful state park, and this is in Gilchrist County. And but I'm in the end. I'm on the end parking space, so I should be okay. But you never know. And so I don't want anybody to complain that they don't want to be filmed. This is a code enforcement officer who parked beside me and then started making phone calls. And then he noticed that I was shooting a video. So then he approached and basically told me that he didn't want to be on the video. He was supposed to be working. Maybe he was supposed to be doing his job somewhere instead of sitting in a parking lot for a half an hour, on the telephone with his girlfriend or whatever. But anyways, I decided to hang the towel now, unless I'm in a rather secluded place or I'm parked right up against the edge of greenery instead of where someone could drive by or park beside me. Here, someone could drive by or pass by on foot. So I hung the towel. Prettier to hang in the future, but this is a towel I actually found on the street, walking in Key West, laying in the middle of the road. I think it's the kind that hotels hand out for free. I wasn't going to go around and try to find a luxury hotel and hand it to someone for free. They probably set it on the roof of their golf cart in Key West. I don't know if you've ever been there. Golf carts everywhere. And I'm going to shoot some videos from Key West. Consider myself residing, although I am Florida at large. Getting back to the comment, gentleman, I believe, and I apologize if I have the gender incorrect. I'm going by the name. You never know today. You're always going to be worried about pronouns and gender. Anyways, if you look, it was a comment on Madison Blue Springs State Park. And that's their website, or part of the website that's on the Park Service website. That's floridastateparks.org. If I go back a page, just give me right now. Just give me a moment. I apologize. I go back a page and to another park, which will be this park. Now, the internet here is a little bit, what is the word young people like to use now? The Gen Zeros, sketchy. It is. This is the park that I'm currently at. This is Ruth B. Kirby Gilchrist Blue Springs State Park. They have a notice at the top of their page, and it's that new camping reservations temporarily closed in lieu of Hurricane Debbie damage, and also there's something to do with they're having construction. They also, the pump station, I believe, is also down. Okay, now, these notices are right on there. And the reason why I'm making this comment about the Park Services is that the gentleman contacted me with regard to this, the Madison Blue Springs State Park, is to inform me that the swimming was closed, and basically kind of implied that I was showing a video with a beautiful swimming hole. And by the way, in 2015, USA Today said it was the best swimming hole in the country, the whole entire United States of America. It is a beautiful place, and it is one of my favorite places to swim. Today I'm going to be swimming here. This is a beautiful place as well. I'll be uploading some video as well with regard that I shot today. That video that I had uploaded, I shot a couple months ago, practicing with my new camera, which I'm having trouble with occasionally. Also having a little trouble with the sound and corrupted, data. I'm gonna fix all that. That's what I do. I'm an IT guy, so I'll get it repaired. I'll get everything working. I was offered some studio assistance, not necessarily for free, but basically, I want to do everything from this vehicle. All the editing and everything right on my own. I'm going to try to do everything I can right here in deliberate perseverance. That's what I've named my van build, my stealth micro camping abode. And it's also my workspace. This is commercial space as well. This vehicle is registered commercially. And insured commercially as well. I basically just want to let the Park Service. I tried to telephone, and I can't remember her name now. I left a message and I'm waiting for return calls. I'll take notes will be there, but she hasn't, and that's why I waited till late morning before I did this rambling video. I was wanted to give the manager of Madison Blue Spring State Park a chance to let me know if the swimming area is indeed, and then I'll update my post, let my YouTube post to let folks know. But honestly, the official site and the issue I had with the one where I had trouble with a park ranger, he asked me to leave, roughly 20 minutes early before park closed, and I just wanted to finish cooking my meal. So I had to completely interrupt that, drive outside of the park entrance, and then finish cooking my meal. Now, again, he may have just been having a bad day. The point is that the hours were wrong on the state of Florida's park website. So if there's some improvement that needs to be made with the data, maybe someone like me, maybe they should ask for my help. I've visited 110 state parks, 109. I'm not sure. I'm going to revisit or almost all of those and visit the ones I have not. And I'm going to be shooting video at every one of them. That's what I do anyhow. I do my IT work, my remote IT work at the state parks almost always. There are some community parks that I am going to also highlight that are exceptional. These are some county and city, basically municipal parks. I've found some exceptional parks. The problem I have with community parks is they don't charge admission in most cases. That actually helps me in a way because the parking lot is not inundated with people that, and I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. I'm not trying to say it's a good thing, but panhandling, knocking on your window. They're approaching, they're asking for $1 and telling you all kind of stories for that $1 when you know they just want their next thing, the alcohol or something else. It's probably not a fix of coffee, but they're asking for $1. Matter of fact, they ask for $5 now. Let's give it a break. We got inflation. They don't even ask for $1 anymore. They try to almost shake you down for $5, and I pretty much give anybody $1 that's hungry, or if they're honest with me and say, I would just like to have another beer. I haven't had a beer, today, and sometimes I'll give them $1 if they're honest with me and they're obviously over, of age. But that's a whole nother subject, and I plan video shoots on that, and I may even interview some of these folks. But anyways, that's my little thing. Yesterday, I was so groggy when I was doing my video last evening. I didn't mention what was said that I heard in favor of this whole plan, or a rationale, because it's not really in favor, but it was a rationale for developing these parks. And the individual who's an official, but again, I'm not going to mention names because I did not speak directly. It was secondhand information, and it may not even be completely accurate, but it sounds plausible. Basically, this fellow said that all of these projects together don't even encompass 1% of the entire land of all the Florida state parks. Honestly, most of the land in the Florida state parks is not even accessible, unless one wants to wander off the trails, and that's not even allowed in some of the places. So don't do that unless you have permission or it's obviously permitted. For instance, it's generally stay on the trails. because you're damaging pristine scrub, wildlife, dunes, and so forth, and it can actually be a criminal penalty. Entering the dunes on the state parks, especially on the Gulf Coast, the Forgotten Coast, and the Emerald Coast, is a crime. Don't do it. If you want to help retrieve trash that is blown onto the dunes, ask the ranger for permission. I did that once. There was a whole bunch of trash from a vehicle that had basically parked beside me, played obnoxious loud music the whole time they were there, never left their vehicle. Basically, they passed around a joint, and then threw all their trash out the window, the fast food and everything, and beer cans, and then drove off. This was in the Gulf Coast of Florida. They did not have a Florida tag. I believe it was Louisiana or Texas, but that really didn't make a difference. They obviously weren't raised right, and they don't have any respect or decency whatsoever for themselves, other people, and the environment. Or even the park workers. We can go on and on. They just don't have any respect. They lack it completely. They were rather young individuals. Anyways, the park ranger, I hailed him and I said, would you mind if I help you retrieve all this trash? And he just shook his head. And we did, and he gave me permission to enter the dune because I did not want to enter otherwise, because I know it's against the rules. And there was signage there basically stating that you could be charged with a crime. So, basically respect nature and don't trample on it. But getting back to this 1% thing, I don't care if it was 1/10, 1/100th, a 1/100th of 1/100th of 1%. It's still commercializing the parks. And I don't mind a little food truck in the park, like a Ponce de Leon State Park. There's a food truck there. It's called Debbie's something or other, I believe. I apologize if I get the name wrong. Very nice lady, and she has a food truck there. And she obviously has a contract with the state, and she does a pretty good job as far as I can tell. And so that's a great. I don't mind that at all. That's low impact because it's a food truck. Guess what? When that food truck leaves, the impact is over because it basically sat there. It was parked just like a regular vehicle. It's not a permanent structure. It's not interfering with the wildlife on a permanent basis like development. Now, just to let you know, there's 813,000 acres of land that encompasses all 175 Florida state parks. The park I'm currently parking lot of, Gilchrist, Blue Springs, name Ruth, by the way. It is the latest of the state parks. Now, there's a little discrepancy if you search on the internet, but on the DEP's website, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, on their website, it states 175 state parks, trails, and historic, 813,000 acres. It's right there on their website. So now, if you go to the Park Service website, other websites, state of Florida official websites, it will say just under 800,000. Now, it could be that this park, I don't believe this park here particularly is 113,000 acres, but the state of Florida has been adding parks, and obviously people aren't. Since COVID, I don't think any website is really up to date anymore. Even some major websites don't seem like they've updated since 19. So, that's something I would like to ask the Park Service, please. I know maybe you're understaffed. I mean, someone like me would be happy to help. Let's update the individual park listings on these parks. And so when there is something closed, for instance here, reflect it. If the swimming area is closed, then notice that. If the equestrian activities are not possible because the stables have been damaged by a storm event, then place that there. And the reason I mention that, many of these parks encourage mountain biking, horseback riding. It's not just hiking and walking. There's plenty of activities. We don't need pickleball, essentially. But, again, I'm not that worried about pickleball or disc golf. But anyways, that's along those lines. And, I'm not too upset, at this point, but I would like to see state of Florida, let's enact something, get it in the statutes so that this type of thing, this chicanery, and what was the Governor DeSantis, what was his quote? Said it was, what was his exact words here? Half-baked, not ready for prime time. It didn't cross his desk. He hadn't seen it. And that is true, but I don't want any half-baked or even full-baked ideas ruining the state parks. It doesn't matter to me how far baked it is, or even if it's over baked. And if we want to use the metaphors of preparing food, or actually baking could be in reference to pottery as well, I guess, or even making and not ready for prime time. I don't want a park improvement that's ready for prime time. I don't think anybody does. Miami Herald had a good opinion piece today on the same subject. And again, I'm happy the gentleman with the Miami Herald. He basically stated it doesn't matter whether you're make America great again, a MAGA, Trump, whatever, or conservationist, preservationist. And by the way, many people that are conservative politically are also conservative. They're conservationist and preservationist when it comes to land. It's not exclusive of those that lean towards socialism or liberalism or however one wants to state all this political BS today. Those terms all change, by the way, historically. You go back historically, they meant different things. And not always, but most cases, yes. But it was a good article in the Miami Herald opinion piece, and it was stated as an opinion piece. Good. Opinion pieces should be stated as opinion pieces, or as an editorial, or as something to that effect. And an interesting computer assignment today, and to get on another subject. One of my clients contacted me this morning, and I'm about ready to embark. It's a charity, and the charity has there's a Facebook page placed, and it's using logos and actually try to look like the charity, and posting information that's not accurate, not true, and in some cases disparaging or derogatory. And so I'm going to actually shoot a video. I'm going to contact Meta, that's the parent company of Facebook, and I'm going to see how much trouble this is to have this stopped through Meta. And now this may actually be criminal. This is a charity. And by the way, I'm not going to charge for my time. I am very busy, and I don't have a lot of funds right now. But charities, I generally do work. Now, if I have expenses, I will ask them to reimburse me. But I don't like to derive income from good organizations, and also that pertains to religious churches and and synagogues and temples and so forth. Try to avoid collecting any funds unless it's something extreme. I will try to use my talents, skills to assist good groups. And when I walk to the state parks, I often fetch other people's litter, and if I'm walking towards the restroom, especially, because I'm going to be washing my hands as soon as I walk in that restroom. Now, when I'm walking back to my vehicle at the end of the day to drive somewhere, I walk past the trash. Unless I know it's been there for a long time and been rained on several times and baked in the sun, because I don't want to catch a virus or some type of bacterial ailment. No good deed, goes unpunished, so to speak. But anyways, this ought to be an interesting assignment, and it's often difficult when someone posts something on social networking, or even creates a website that's untrue. It's often difficult to get it reversed. I've helped many clients, and I've spent hours upon hours of hours, and also stolen domains. People that they basically use a phishing and deceptive tactic with companies like GoDaddy, and then they end up providing the website to someone it doesn't belong to. I can give you examples of that. I've helped people over the years, assisted people, covering. And also an unfortunate case years ago, a person had died, and a relative was trying to gain access. And why was this important? Because the relative had a business that their relative was a web person, and they had suddenly died, passed on, and then there was no access for this business, and it was very important. It was not a tiny little business. This was an operation, bordering on a medium-sized business, not a small business, but it was still a mom and pop operation. And GoDaddy made it ridiculously difficult, but it was eventually resolved. And I made a lot of phone calls and many hours on the phone, many hours of faxing, using facsimile and emails and all types of other things to prove that this is indeed who it belonged to, and that the estate was controlled by these individuals as well, who were not the exact same individuals of the business, but they were all in it together to get this where it should be, and control the business. And so it's a good lesson to learn if you are in the technology business like myself. You could be in a motorcycle crash, could get hit by a bus. All kind of things can happen. And it's a good idea to not have the passwords in a place that only you know where they're at. Always have a backup person or something, or some type of contingency plan. What I do is all of my clients' accounts I have in a sealed envelope, and that is given to a close associate who I implicitly trust. Those are placed in a safe or safety deposit box to be exact. And upon my passing, that would be open, but then all of my clients would have their information. It's not on the web. I'm not putting anything on the cloud because I just don't trust every single employee of every single company. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Be safe out there. This is the Philosopher Pirate. I'm the Philosopher Pirate. This is Florida at Large, Gilchrist County, late morning. Thank you again, and have an amazing Labor Day weekend, but I'll be joining you again anyway.